All right, awesome. All right, guys, good afternoon. How you doing? All good? If you want to keep your cameras on, it's up to you. If you want to just listen, keep on listening. It's okay. I'm gonna talk only like for like almost 20 to 25 minutes, just like a verbal of a talk of what is for you to become a proper MC or the presenter or more or less being on stage. Now, a little brief about myself. My name is Bassam. I've been doing this for almost 20 years up to now, and I love it. it's like it's like something from the heart, being up on stage and exercising every single day about practicing with the voice vocals. As you can see right now, I'm a little bit pale with that because it's been a while I didn't talk. So now it's like more of a talking, but I need to practice it every single day. Now, one of the secrets that I have that I'm gonna give you later on, but I can share is what we drink. So the drink is very important. I'll let you know. I'm just keeping it as a note so I can remind myself for that. Now, becoming an MC, it's a struggle, honestly speaking. Not anyone can come up on stage and say, hey, I'm an MC, I'm a talker, I can do this, I can do that. No, you can, but it requires special skills. Now, I can see from Arsman, he's like, yeah, man, I think I can do that. Now, I don't know much about you, Arsman, but I can see right now just looking at you on the camera. That's why I'm saying I want to see you guys. I can see the whole everyone. So it's like I just want to see how you look like in a way so that we can talk to each other because in the emceeing and being up on stage again, you need to interact with the people and the friends and the guests are in front of you. So that's what's important, and how you do this is that technique is important too. Now, let's put it in that way. I'm going to share something in the beginning. Let me just put the screen on Dropbox. Just a second, guys. So I can take you through that journey that I want to go forward. There you go. All right. So becoming a better MC. First of all, thank you very much for Mina Speakers for giving us a chance to be part of this great initiative and exercise in the same time. And definitely I need just a second, guys, to put the timer because I like to work on timer. Just a second. Totally forgot to put it earlier. There you go. Thank you very much one more time for Mina Speakers for giving me this chance, and for everyone who's part of Mina Speakers and would like to be part of Mina Speakers, please contact Sana and of course the whole team. I'm part of Mina Speakers and with Sana for almost like 7 years. I know them, and it's my honor to be here with you guys right now. Now, we do give a one-to-one presentations and coaching, and we give you more time for you to understand and to ask questions. And it's always nice to have like one-to-one because more information could come up and ideas and brainstorming. So today we're only going to talk a little bit about MC 101. I know it sounds very cool, but I love it. So here we go. First, why should you become an MC? Everyone thinks becoming an MC is just like being on stage and just say, hey, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Bassam right here, and I'm going to be your host. No, becoming an MC has multiple options and points. Obviously, it will improve your public speaking skills. This is one of my favorites because when you're up on stage, you're just talking and talking and talking. And then one time and one day, they will call you and tell you, hey, I want you to be a speaker, or I want you to come and do a presentation for me to my company, to my colleagues, to my financial institutions, or something like that. Now, being an MC, by the way, has a big, humongous advantage. The reason is you can say anything and you can be in any field, regardless of what it is. You know it or you don't, but you only need what, 15 to 20 to 1 hour to just understand what that subject is or what the event is about. Take an example. I got invited last time to the Bitcoin. I had no idea what a Bitcoin is, honestly speaking. But then they just gave me the brief, stating about the Bitcoin is this and that, who's the CEO, who's going to talk, who's going to say this, who's going to be that. what is it about, what they're investing, where's the location, where is it happening, blah, blah, blah. And then it took me just like what, 15, 20 minutes to go through the whole script. And I got to say to myself, it's like, hey, I'm a Bitcoin guy. And then I went up on the stage and I start talking. Now, the most important thing about that when you talk is the story. The story is important. How you deliver that story is what makes you successful. So everyone thought I'm a Bitcoiner too. And they thought I'm like an investor at the same time. And then they start coming to me afterwards and it's like, hey, Bassam, we'd like to invest. You'd like to come on Bitcoin. Do you want to buy this? You want to put this? And it's like, no. I'm not. I'm just like a public speaker. And that's how it is. So this will improve your public speaking skills. Next, when you become an MC, it will even grow your leadership skills. Becoming a leader is very important because then you can just go out and about without no fear. Staying there on stage, you own the stage. It's like the stage is yours. You and the stage are one person. And then it's like everyone will start to follow you. Everyone will start saying, hey, you want the best MC? Go for this guy. You want this MC? Go for this girl. You want something powerful and fun? Go for this one. And that's how it goes. And leadership skills, even, it will help you. And like, even if you want to apply for another job, regardless, you're working in a job or not, or a freelancer like me, but if you are in a company and then you're doing that, the same thing, the managers and CEOs and whatever position you are, they will see you on a higher status right now, because now you have that kind of a presentation skills, the power of your skills, public speaking skills, and at the same time, you're doing a great job. Plus, becoming an MC, it will grow your personal growth. In what way? More income, more money coming in. And when becoming an MC, you have right now a rate in the market. Now people come and they're like, hey, can we afford this now? There's like, yeah, but it's now becoming expensive. I wonder why. It's because of my experience. It's because of my time. It's because I've been spending 20 years on myself working on that and to become the best MC in UAE. But then, do I negotiate? Yes, I do. Do I go up and down? Why not? It's not a matter of like, I need to earn today 10,000 dirhams. No. I'm fine with earning, let's say 5 or 6, even 4,000. Depends on the client and depends how many hours and depends what I'm doing or where I am. But in mind, personal growth is very important because then I earn those money and I reinvest it in myself. How? I do my website, I do social interactions, I do a little bit more of training myself online, getting to know other, or reading, or even looking to other videos from other public speakers, and I improve myself. Then, why you have to become an MC again? Networking. Becoming an MC, and you're in an event, you have so much of networks to build in. Believe me. So much. You get to meet high priorities people. I'll give you an example. You got invited to an event as an MC, of course. So when you're hosting the show or you're hosting the event, you're done. Once you're done, some of the people will come just behind the stage. I was like, excuse me, yeah, I like your presentation. I like what you did. You brought up the hype. Thank you very much. That's my card. Can you call me? Great, you got one. And then at the same time, before you even go up, this we're gonna talk about again, try to network with those people to understand who they are. But networking in this kind of a position when you're an MC, oh my gosh, so much of work will come. So much of money will come. Personal growth will go. And you will meet so much of interesting people. And if you're very good at talking, and you know how to interact, that's a double 100% great job for you. Second, becoming an MC, even again, why should you become an MC? Because you will improve your writing skills. Why do I say writing skills? Because you need to write sometimes a script. The script is very important. With no script, you can't go up sometimes on stage, but you could if you know how to improvise. Me, I'm very well known with improvising. The reason I take a script is only for the client just to follow what he or she wants. That's it. They're like, okay, Bassam, please stick to the script and don't go out. Okay, it's your call, it's your event, you're in the end paying me. But then I like to improvise a lot, especially take an example. Let's say something happened in between. While you're doing the script, like while you're reading the script, and then one other person just come up and interfere, asking a question, what would you do? This is the thing. Will you go out from the script or will you continue? Bear in mind that the client already told you earlier, Bassam, do not go out from the script. Stick to it no matter what. So what do you do in that situation? Would you pause the guest and tell them, I'll come back to you or take it to management, or will you answer him? Again, these are very critical answers and questions that you have to put yourself in situations, but then you have to be very smart and improvise at the same time. So what I will do, I'll say, thank you very much, sir. Can you hold on to that question? I'll come back to you along with the management, and I continue back. This is what I will do. But still, improvising and providing your writing and improving the writing could help you in that, so that your mind could really directly answer sometimes the clients or these questions that you are already in. It's a very complicated thing. It's a very long route, but I'm just giving you a short brief. Second, why would you become an MC? Because your self-confidence and awareness will become more stronger. Like I just said, you see, you answered that client directly in front on the stage while you're just sticking to the to the script. But then your confidence and your awareness is just like on a click. If you don't have that, guys, if you don't have that kind of confidence and awareness, we can train you on this. We don't mind. It takes a lot of time and it takes courage. But then once you're there and once you're really in that zone, believe me, you run the show. And this is why you have to become an MC. To run the show, it's all on you. You got it? It's all on you. If you don't manage to do it on the first, listen to that, on the first 20 seconds, you don't control the stage, trust me, the whole event is a bye-bye. You will still be there. You will still be hosting. You will still be talking. You'll still be inviting other panel discussions and all that. But yet, you're not owning the event. The client will still nod his head. Okay. But on the end of the day, he will come to you and tell you, I'm sorry, this is your money. I don't mind, but thank you very much. I don't think we're going to deal up with you. It happens a lot. And I learned it from my own mistakes. But then I became better and better. I'm not saying till today, but there are clients are very specified in one simple word that you say, and they will stick to it. And you need to be very careful on that. How will you respond back to that client? Then he will start saying, oh, you didn't do that well. I'm not going to pay you. Excuse me? But why? But I just did my job. I just talked for the whole 4 hours. But here's the mistake, guys. Becoming an MC sometimes, it requires that kind of a confidence that you approach the client before the stage or even before time and ask for your 50% in advance, and then the next 50 just before you come up on stage. And this is where this goes to self-confidence. Now, why to become an MC? Because you know how to plan, to manage your projects, and you resolve your conflicts, and you run interviews and be interviewed. As I said, all this you will learn in less than what? How many sessions with me, let's say? About 4 or 5, depends on how much experience you are, or even if you're just brand new and you just want to be there at the market, Adi, it's okay. I can take you from 0 all the way to 100%. It will take time. Believe me, it will take time. But then you will be there. Let's go next. People usually ask, what does an MC stands for? MC is a short term for Master of Ceremonies or a mic controller. Now, usually the MC has multiple definitions, by the way, like almost 284 definitions, like Mind Control, Monte Carlo, Mayo Clinic, Merry Christmas, like anything. It could be just anything. Like drive now on the streets. I always do that with my girlfriend. It's like I'm driving and then I see an MC. Hey, it's me over there. I was like, it's a medical clinic. What, Bassam? It's like, what are you talking about? But it's so cool when you see yourself like that and you compare. It's like, hey, MC, MC, MC. But essentially, that word is a rap word, by the way, and it's been given like a long time ago in the hip hop revolution, long time ago back in the States and even in London and all that in the UK. So MC is like, yo, the MC that comes up on stage and he MCs, or the MC who goes out into the nightclub and he just like hype up the crowd. Yo, 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 ladies and gentlemen, put your hands up. Oh, yeah. You know, these are the MCs that usually are called the MCs. But then they try to change it again. If you can see the last one, which is this one, let me just highlight it. That one, the MC. It was like then they wanted to differentiate between the MC, which is MC, and do it into like MC, which is the big one, EMCEE. But then it's the same spelling in a way, but some clients, they usually say, is that an MC as a rapper, or is that as an MC as a host? So then we started doing and typing for our clients by email stating that we are an MC, something like that. You got it? Not the other MC. So it's not an issue, but still people know here in UAE that the MC stands for MC, which is Master of Ceremonies. So this is what the MC stands for. Let me take you to the next slide. Now, if you go into our program with MENA speakers, we are giving you these kind of ideas or things to learn. And our subjects are detailed, but I'm just going to show you exactly what are these in a way. Just a small talk about them. So if you ever thought of coming up to our program, you will learn more about how to, like, I will give you a complete guide about the microphones, which I'm going to give you right now, a little bit how to hold the microphone and what's the difference, how to hold it. You're adding some surprises. I'll be giving you like training more about the surprises, how you walk in. I'll show you some photos, but not now, later on training time. About the dress codes and stuff like that, and some ideas and brainstorming. The award nights, what you have to do on the award night, what you have to talk, what time you need to show up, rehearsals and all that. And by the way, I'm not sure about you guys, but here in UAE, we have a limit of being a wedding MC. But luckily for me, I do it a lot because I'm well known within these communities, and barely here in UAE or the Arab community use an MC for a wedding. It's not like the outside in Europe and the US and other areas. They use wedding MCs to entertain the crowd, and especially by the way, the most people who love an MC is in the States, 1, 2, and Russia. If you know people from Russia or Ukraine and all that, they love to have a wedding MC because they play games. They do a lot. They do a lot. I've been there a couple of times. I was like English MCing, and I had a Russian MC guy next to me, and it was so cool. And I had so much fun and so much playing and games and organizing. It was like, is that a wedding or is it like a game show? So being a wedding MC has a different altitude from being a normal MC, just being on stage. You'll be having even a small little practice about pronouncing names. Pronouncing names is very important. If you don't know how to pronounce much of the names, believe me, you'll suffer with the client, especially if we have an event with the names are like mix and match. Take an example. I'll tell you a story. An example happened to me one time. It was the Olympics, and I had from China, from Japan, I had from Kazakhstan, I got from Russia, I got from Turkey, Okay, I got some Arabs from Lebanon. I got from the GCC. We had Saudi Arabia team and stuff like that. But the Arab words are easy. Okay, I'm a Lebanese guy, so I know how to speak the Arabic, so I understand the words in Arabic. But the Russian, oh my God, that was hard. But the most difficult was the Chinese and, of course, the Japanese. But then it's all up to the MC how he pronounces the name. Now, they all know I'm going to do a mistake because I'm not a Chinese or a Japanese guy. But I'm not even an agent to even understand how the word is phrased and how to put it on. But at least I do my best. So what I did is, before they come up to the pool, because they were playing water polo, before they come up to the pool, I go to the coach. I try to understand just the names and write them in my own syllabus. If it's like ping pong how, so I just write how I heard it. Ping pong. Okay, so it's like a ping a pong. So it's like, all right, ping pong how. How? 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 I was like, okay, how? How? Good. Ping pong how? How? So I start getting it in that way, and then I start pronouncing it once or twice or thrice. But then when you have like about 40 to 80 names, no way you can remember them all, but you do your best. So pronouncing names is important. So then every time, in the Olympics, they usually, before they come up to the pool and they start to play the game or to start, they usually invite the whole team up in front, like in soccer. They put them in lines, just and the coaches over there, but they have a different way. Over there, they introduce every single player at one time, believe it or not. So it's like, same time, Paul, and then, and they come up, and you can see the crowd are laughing, cracking, laughing. But what's the best part? It's like, when I was done, they came to me, all of them, and they're like, you are good, you are good. Good job. No problem, name. Good job, but you play. You're good. So pronouncing the names is important, but again, how you pronounce those names is way important too. Next is like introducing a speaker. There's multiple ways of introducing a speaker. Depends on the theme of the night. You see, like I always take it like that. If it's a very corporate event, like wearing a tie and the bow tie, and you're very like stiff and all that, it's a proper presentation in a way. But there's no wrong being flexible. But it's all up to the client. Remember, it's all about the client. What the client says, you have like somehow to continue with. But then it's all about the client. So if he says, Bassam, keep it cool, don't go over, then I have to keep it cool and don't go over. It's like, Bassam, do whatever you want to do. We're here to have fun, so do whatever you want to do. So introduction to the speaker or introducing the speaker has a different way. Panel discussion, the same thing. How do you discuss with the panel discussion? What are the topics that you're going to talk on that panel discussion? Who are the people? Do you have their bios? Do you understand more about them and who they are? At least you have some little information about them. How will you sit in the panel discussion? Where is your situation or location in the panel discussion? All this could be explained later on. The MC script, how to thank a speaker. Again, before we had how to introduce a speaker. This time, it's like how you thank the speaker. There's multiple ways. Do you approach and you shake hands? Do you go to them? Do you bow? Do you just say it from verbally far away on the mic? Thank you very much. How do you show yourself? All this, again, it all depends on how big is the stage or how small is the stage or where are you on the stage. Great opening lines as a speech. Again, in this, I can train you about giving a great opening lines is like in a different ways, again, as I said. Next is like the stage fright. And this is very important. A lot of people, they approach me and they're like, Bassam, how is it that you're not scared? I say, honestly, I'm always scared. There's nothing wrong to be scared. But how I conquer it is up to me. The practices that I do is up to me. The trainings that I do before I come up on stage to show people that I'm not scared, I'm not frightened, is up to me. But then I learned multiple methods, which I can teach you when we go into a one-to-one. What about the attire, the MC attire? The attire is very important because it represents your identity and depends on the whole event theme. Take an example. They said it's Halloween. Definitely, you're not gonna go in a suit, but you're gonna You're gonna try and wear something in a Halloween attire. They tell you it's all about. It's a let's say it's an award night, but it's, let's say, the theme of the award night, it's black and white or red, the whole red. Now, for a female MC, it's very simple. Theme is red, great. Wear a red gown, very simple. Boys, men, how can you play with red? This is hard. How can you play with red? You need to Google. You need to know how to dress to impress. Because once you're up on stage, it's you the whole time and your look. So if you don't look that much of elegant in a way, they might just say, this guy is not playing the role that we're asking for or like we're looking for. Why is it we're all following up the procedures of wearing red and that guy on stage is not wearing the attire? He's just wearing pink or he's just wearing blue. Well, how come? You need to be different? No, but you can find a way. You can mix and match. Let's take an example. I usually do that. I wear a white shoes, white pants, and a white shirt or a blazer or a shirt, and I just put a red tie. It kills it because everything is white, and then that's only red. Or you can go for another reverse, where a black shoes, black suit, the whole thing, a black suit and a black shirt, and just a bow tie, a red color. Boom, you got it. So the attire is very important too. Next, memory improvements. Being an MC and to be up on stage, you need to have a good memory. Memory of remembering names a little bit, not all of them, but at least like a name that is repeated from time to time. Try to memorize that name, especially that if it's the manager that he's gonna come up the whole time, Mr. X or Mr. Matthew, please come up on stage. Mr. Matthew, once again, I need you on stage. Mr. Matthew, if you don't mind, we have our last award ceremony night. Please, we want you up on stage, blah. So that Matthew, let's say, or a different name, especially if it's a hard name, you need to recall it from time to time. But in the same time, memory improvising is very important. Why? Because sometimes things are happening and you need to recall an incident just happened 15 or 20 or 30 minutes ago. Especially if you have a panel discussion, you're just sitting there, and especially a subject is not your subject or it's not your field. Like I said before, Bitcoin, it's not me in Bitcoin. But when I'm just there, I'm listening, I'm taking little notes, but then I'm remembering. So when they finish talking a little bit, before you go to another question or the third question, you can recall a question one, what they said. They will look at you and they're like, dude, you're good. You got it? It's like, oh man, you remembered. So you're listening. This will give a priority for the panel discussers. And they will say, I like enjoying and talking to you. And with this, trust me guys, with this, it will get you to another client and another client and another client. Voice tonality, voiceover, and recording. Being an MC, you should have a good voice. Even if not on a verbal voice, but on the mic voice, which I'm going to explain to you in a while. But the voice tonality is important. You should not be that too high and not that too low. You just be mid. And how you play that mid is where I'm going to teach you that. The role of an MC as a corporate and wedding and social. Yet again, it's all about where you are and what is the event about and what you're doing. You could be maybe in the park having a truckers night or a food festival, or a boat festival in Abu Dhabi or somewhere. What are you wearing? What are you dressed up? And what's happening? And how many hours? And is it for fun? Is there a band? Is there like singers? Are there like dancers? Are there like any quiz show that you're gonna do on stage? All that you need to know as a role of an MC before anything. So having a corporate event has a different role. Being in a wedding event has a different role. Being in a social event has a different role. In every job, you have a different role. Body language is my favorite. And body language, in MENA speakers, we have multiple of coaches over there that they can train you about body language, but they're training you about public speaking body language. We can train you on any kind of body language, but yet you have a body language on stage that's perfect because you will interact with your body in front of the class or the clients who are in front of you. Take an example. The client comes up on stage, but is feeling terrified, or like you invited someone to speak and they're like, and they're shivering. You will understand the body language of them. But it's your job as an MC, not only just to introduce that person to come up on stage and leave them there stranded. You can assist that person to calm them down. And this is where the stage fright of that person came up. Beforehand, before he came up on stage, he was perfectly okay. But when he was up on stage, now he has that kind of a stage fright. But yet, it's up to you how you can handle it. So you just approach that person and say, "Hi, sir, how you doing today?" Or you put the mic down. It's like, "Are you okay? Are you willing to continue or not?" In a way, there's multiple ways, but I can teach you on that. Let's roll because of time. Secret to a great introduction is one of my famous and best established idea that I had. In your briefing introduction, you need to cover 4 points, and these 4 points are very important. If you want to take a screenshot on that, please do. If you want to take a photo, please do now. Because being an MC, you need those 4 secrets of introduction. And these are the most important. 1, why the speaker? Why is this guy? Why the subject? Why this audience? And why now? This is all those 4 whys about the introduction. So why the speaker? Because it will establish the credibility of that speaker. Take an example. Who is that person? He's a CEO of this, that, managing director of that. He was 1, 2, 3, 4, and he did this, and that. Great. So you introduce why the speaker, why this guy is going to come up. But why is his subject? Because his subject is important to and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, because he did the credentials of this and that and this and that and this and that. But why this audience? You will link the audience to it, and you will say, and why did we invite that guest to our stage today? Because we all know that you are in the same field of, let's say, education. And Mr. Rashid is a well-known CEO and a minister of education, used to be blah, 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 blah. You link it to them so that they can feel that, oh, that subject is really linked to us. And then you finish it with excitement. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, please put your hands together and let's welcome on stage the CEO and the founder and the co-founder, blah, 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 Mr. Rashid. And that's how it goes. So remember those 4 whys. A tip that I need you to understand more. Why you are meeting before you going up on stage, and before, of course, because you have the script, before you meet up with the client or the speaker who's going to come up on stage, talk to him behind the scenes. Ask him, who are you more? What's your interest? Your hobbies, sports team, your food, you know, anything, any extra add on could give a nice plus or a feed to be up for the presenter to come up on stage for the speaker. This again, I can tell you more and more later on. Now, I have only one more slide and that's it. One important thing about being there up on stage is the mixer. People a lot have a problem with their voice. And other MCs, I know them, they come up on stage and it's not their voice. It's like or take an example. I'm sure it happens a lot that you're walking in the mall and there's somebody on the mic and they're just talking, but when you're walking next to them, you're just like this. It's like, damn, you're too loud. Or maybe he is loud or she is loud, but the voice tonality is like, you know that kind of a vibration. Yeah, that's how it is. So you need to know as an MC a little bit about the mixer, because the mixer is important. It will save you. It will save your voice. And it could really save it for a long term, especially if you're like working for 8 hours for 4 days, and let's say GITEX or something like that. You need to save those tones. You need to save them. How do you save them? So you need to play with the mixer. You make the gain up high. You play with the bass. You play with the volume. You play with the equalizers and the reverb. And once you do that, then you will know yourself. Now let's take an example. I'm just going to show you exactly where they are. Let's say this, the gain. If you can look, let me zoom in first, this one first. There you go. All right, there you go. This is where the gain, all right? This is important. This is the gain. What the gain plays a big role other than here, the volume of the mixer. See that on the right side? That's the volume of the mixer, which is the master control of the volume. But yet, you can still use the gain up on the left. If you can see, once again, I'm doing the circle. These are two important parts. Let's go down a little bit. If we go down a little bit, you will find, okay, I need to go back again like that. There you go. Here. These two. This. These are the reverbs, and at the same time are the high and low. I'll show you on the other photo. There you go. You see, it's written low. And that looks funny. It looks like I have a mouth. This is a low key, and this is a mid key over here. These two are important, including the reverb, because that will fix your voice. You see, we got effects over here, but we don't use it much. It's more for music. But for volume, for your voice, it's always here. So you can put it on, let's say, plus 16. So you take that, the low to the right. You tell the AV guy to push it to the right. And then you fix the high, again, to 16 or 17. Or you just tell him, put it up high or down low. And he will understand exactly what he has to do. So for you to understand a little bit about this is important. The mixer is very important. So guys, I really highly recommend that before you go up on stage, get to know the mixer or who's handling it. Finally is the circle. The circle is the most important thing. Now, I created a circle a long time ago, and it's a small explanation about how to deal up while you're up on stage. Let's take an example, right? This here is the stage, all right? I'm just gonna put ST as in stage. And this here is your audience or your crowd, all right? And finally, here on the side, depends on the design of the stage, is your AV, which is the audio visual. Now, you as an MC, you're always up here on stage, all right? Let me change the color of the pen. You are here all the time as an MC. There you go. Now, people say usually the most important thing is to connect with the crowd. Yes, I don't mind. But the most important for me as an MC is to connect to this guy, to the AV. Why? Because my sound is what is going to cover the whole auditorium, my voice. So if you don't connect properly with the AV, believe me, all those people in the crowd, they're gonna be starting to say, no, why? Shuhada, why is the sound so bad? Why is he talking like that? And blah, 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 blah. So this becomes a no. So now you're not connected to the crowd. So this is why I'm telling you guys, when you are connected to the AV guy, you will really have a good presentation. Why? Because while you're connecting to the AV guy, You're having, let me just put back the screen. There you go. You're having a great sound quality. You will have a great way of presenting. You will have the confidence being up there and talking in the same time, because the voice plays a big role while being on stage. Second, mic. The mic is important. When you're up on stage, you're doing your sound check, you have your mic, you might have the podium mic, you might have a pick mic, see that? A pick mic. All these, or even you might have the your mic, all this have a different way of testing. Me, in any event, unless I have to, not to use this mic, all right, the cordless mic or the wireless mic, and I have to use a pick mic, sometimes I struggle. My voice, my strong voice, and anyone's voice is always on this mic, the big mics. And there are multiple trainings of that, but I'm going to give you a very fast, quick hint. Take an example. You're on stage and you're doing your sound check, and now you're going to start your emceeing and you're going to start your event. Some people hold the mic like this, right? Take an example, I'm just going to move aside, like that. So that's like, see, look at that level. This level for me is perfect. I don't mind, because I'm a professional in that. I'm hoping you are too, guys. But if you're a beginner and you're still new to the market, or you're still new, or you have a presentation and you're a bit worried, there's another technique for the mic. But let's take an example. If it was me, I can do that. Ladies and gentlemen, pleasure, good afternoon, and welcome. And I can see everyone here is enjoying their time. Wow. See, now I had that distance and I'm walking with it. See that? The angle is just fine with me. It's not too far. I'm not a singer. And it's not too close. It's not a chocolate that I'm going to eat. Right? I'm just like here. And that's perfect for me. Now, why am I telling you to connect with the AV, the audio visual? Because while you have your space, he will be notified and he will hear you well. And you can tell them, please, one notch up, low key up, mid key up, put a reverb a little bit, and put an extra bass. I love to have a bass on my voice because I have the power. And when I have the bass, I can control the whole ballroom or the whole event or the whole, whatever you want to say it, anything, because you need to control it. All right, this is one. Now, let's say you're terrified coming up on stage, or you have a presentation and you're not aware about it, and it's just you that they chose you. They told you, Asman, come up on stage and you have to talk right now. All right? Sorry, Asman, you're drinking. But then Asman is like, okay. And then he comes up on stage and he doesn't know what he has to do. But then Asman grabs the mic and is all the way up here, down here. And it happens a lot. Sorry, but I'm trying to improvise. All right? Just like, it's like all the way here. It's like, ladies and gentlemen. And then you as an MC, you're trying to help Asman. So you come and you try to push it up. Or you tell Asman, it's like, mic up. What happens here is like AV, the audio visual right now, because the MC gave my mic to Asman, and Asman his mic is all the way down. So now AV needs to put the volume up high, if you realize that, on the events, and then the sound will be very bad. And Asman's voice is like he's talking, but he's like still far. It's like what's happening? So the mic is very important. So that's why we take practices. So what I always say to all my entrepreneurs and trainers and startups is like, once you're in that kind of a situation and you don't know how to hold the mic, do one thing. Take the mic. Watch this, guys. Take the mic, not here, not here, not all the way down here or left or right. Just get it here on your chin. All right? Yeah, good job, Asman. On your chin. Now, Asman, do that practice if you put it already, that button. Yeah. Now, show me your figure from the side, all right? That's good. Now, think about it. Now, if you're gonna go to the left and right with the mic, try to speak to yourself. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome, you know? The mic is just there, right? Great. Now, put the mic down here, let's say, and then try to do the same thing and turning left and right and saying, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Let me see that. Yeah, you got a mistake a little bit, right? It's like a little bit hard, truly. But when you have it on your chin, then you're in total control of yourself by one person, which is you and the mic. So it's easy for you to say, ah, check this out. I'm going up and down and left and right, and this is so cool. So if you connected, so if you connected with the AV, with the audio visual about that's gonna stay on your chin the whole time, he will control your volume and your voice tonality. Then wherever you go up and down and left and right, your voice will still be the same. But then there's a big problem that sometimes some people forget that when they take my mic or another mic, they start saying, oh, okay, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you about something, but you know, it's all about the things, but sometimes it's all about what I'm talking about. But you know what, in this, because all the way, because you got my idea? Sometimes they lose control about talking on the mic. So that's why I always recommend keep the mic on your chin. That's one of the practices that you can do. A water bottle, maybe through your phone. Let's take an example. Through your phone, just put it on your chin. Yeah, just like that. And try to speak. Even if you have a pen, try to speak. Just practice putting something here on your chin. Not too much up where your lips all the way on your chin. That's it. That's the easiest way to do and to talk on the mic. Finally, the drink. I told you earlier about the drink. I'm not talking about alcohol. And please, 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 as a professional in that business, I did it before and it was the worst thing. I was just new to the market and I was like, yay, happy. But then the client always loves to feel relaxed. For him, it's up to him, it's a client. But you don't need to go down with his level going to that drink. He might invite you and tell you, please drink with me, have a drink, have a drink, have a drink, have a drink. They will force you because they need to feel relaxed. But then you need to tell them, sir, honestly speaking, I would love to have a drink with you, but not right now while I'm on duty. Sometimes they will look at you, chapeau bas. Wow, I respect you. You don't drink on duty. But once I'm done and the whole event is done, I'm going to have a cheers with you. He's going to go loco. But what did you do here, by the way? Psychologically, okay, and mentally, you just played with his mind because he was already stressed out before he comes up on stage. Then you just gave him an opportunity to feel relaxed and happy, especially that he's going to come with you on stage and talk with you on stage. So this is the best part, you know, like you have to balance. You see, being an MC is just not being up on stage. There's a whole dictionary that I can talk about, a whole book that I can talk about. But then there's so much. Now, to cut it, so we can go for a small talk between me and you guys, if you got any questions, it's the story. Once again, remember the story. I didn't say what exactly you have to drink. What you have to drink, my secret, my success is ginger. Simple. In any event, in any corporate event, especially in hotels, if I have a corporate event, I directly ask the waiter just before anything, once the briefing is done with my client and I have like 1 hour to relax and I'm sitting on the changing room or the blue room or the back room or whatever, I just ask the waiter, please, hot water, ginger, and a scoop of honey. Not sugar, honey. And that's it. And that's my magic. And then everyone starts to come and they're like, Bassam, how do you have this kind of an energy? 6 hours you're on stage and you're on one tonality. You didn't go up, you didn't go down, you go mid. You're just like rising up and up and up and up and up. And this is another thing that I wanted to tell you about. But again, on training, I'll explain to you more and more how you keep that stabilization of your voice from A all the way to Z and more powerfully. All right. And then the clients will come and everyone was like, how did you do it, man? We were tired just talking and listening or whatever, but you keep on like talking and talking and talking. And your voice tonality is like, just like, wow. And I say, it's ginger. It's just ginger. Ginger, hot water, because to make it a little bit soft and strong. And then I'm just up on stage. Ice, not recommended. Pepsis and 7-Ups and all that, and anything with acids before you come up on stage, not recommended. You don't want to come up on stage and talking and say, you don't want that. You don't want that. You just want that voice to be just strong. And then food is important. What you eat before the event and what you eat after the event and what time you eat. All this is part of the process of my trainings and Q&As that I usually do. Lastly, but not last, is the story again. It's all about the story. When you're up on a stage and you're just an MC or you're just a talker or a presenter or you're in a panel discussion, we don't want to see you reading from a paper. We don't want that. It's your game, it's your baby, it's your idea, it's your creation. So you talk from the heart. You talk with knowledge. You talk with hand gestures and body language and all that. That plays a big role when you're stating a story. And being a storyteller is the most successful thing ever. And half or 80% of the MCs and presenters and everyone who comes up on stage are storytellers. If you're a good storyteller, you're in. I don't know about you guys, but I hope you are. But practice on storytelling. Hi, Mariam. Practice on storytelling. You're good in that. You're awesome. That's my time, guys. Now I'm going to open it for anyone who would like to ask any questions. If you have anything, please raise up your hand, put your mic on, or just say you want to say. Thank you very much, and thank you, Mina.
Awesome. So we have some questions that have dropped in through the chat.
Mm.
I don't know if you can see it, but the first one is
One
from
second.
Victor, and he asks an amazing question, and he says, is there a certification or license for MCs in the UAE?
Yes, but not as an MC certification. It's just like a certification like on Mina Speakers with Sana. You like you complete a project, let's say, or you complete a course, and then we can give you that you completed already the MC 101, or you completed the in coaching techniques about becoming a better MC, which we can do it. We can do that for you. But precisely to be an MC, no. There are license of being a freelancer, yeah, but not as an MC, just a freelancer. So you can do anything you want.
Okay, so we have a second question. And Victor's...
Doesn't ginger affect your breath? Not really. No, at all. I never had that issue at all, Victor. I never had that issue at all, that ginger will affect my breath, because I'm having ginger with honey and hot water. So I think the honey will kill that breath, or that kill that germ or whatever. Plus, you're up on stage, sometimes you're too far from people, so they won't manage to smell you or something. Plus, there's one thing that I always want, it's a good thing that Victor brought it up. I always have bubble gum in my bag, in case, before I come up on stage, I just chew a little bit so that I can kill that breath that comes up from my mouth, because I'm going to be interacting and networking with a lot of people. So of course, I don't want to kill them while I'm talking to them. So thank you, Victor, for this very brilliant question. Thank you. Yes, Osman.
Hi, Bassam. Thank you for this amazing presentation. I have one question, and I have one tip, and I have one idea. I'm going to start with my tip, is that if you're an MC, because I've been MCing as well, always invest in your own microphone. It's always a good idea to have your own microphone and bring it with you to events. So that's amazing to see that you have your own one. And I personally prefer the head mic, because then it gives me room to move my hands around when I'm talking. And I feel like MCing is also your body language, as you said. The other innovation, yeah.
Sorry, Asma, but the head mic, it depends on what event you're hosting, صح? Like yes. If it's something to do with more like you're having a presentation in a corporate and it's a small venue and it's indoor and it's covered and it's only like 50 or 40 people, the head mic is perfect. if I'm not mistaken. But you cannot use it on like having a live stage, and I'm sure you know that.
No,
Yeah,
if it's a big stage, no. Okay.
Definitely.
Second thing, as you mentioned, the mixer, I was reading up that some mixers can be controlled remotely from an iPad. So one of the events I did, I got an iPad mini with me, which I held up like a cue card, and I was actually controlling them. And I told the AV guys, do not touch it, because some of them don't really know what they're doing.
So,
the question I want to ask you now is, what if the client insists that you use the podium and you do not pace around the stage? Because I believe in 2020, as a speaker, you should never hide behind the podium, because that's hiding half your body. And as you said, it makes it look like you're frightened. And if the audience get that, you lost control. If you lose control, you lose the event. So what if the client insists that you stand behind the podium and you say, you recommend to them, obviously, and it's better if I move around the stage, if I pace around, and they'll be like, no, stand behind the podium. What happens? Is it the case of they're paying you, it's there, or do you still do your own thing? What do you think?
Well, honestly speaking, Osman, there's two things. One, I need to respect the client, yes, because in the end, he's paying me. But yet, I still need to give him that respect, because if I don't do what he wants in a total of 100% vulnerability, then he might not recommend me to other clients again. So that's another strategy I need to think about. If I'm not going to argue with him and tell him, La habibi ya akhi, but if I walk, it will be nice. People will interact. They will see my body. And they see, I didn't get you to see you. I'm getting you to talk about my product. It's not about you. You're there to host my product.
Yes, but it's not I don't mean them seeing me. I mean me appearing afraid behind the podium, and hence making me lose control over the crowd. And as you said, if you lose control in the first 20 seconds because you're not being open, you lose the event.
But still, Asman, let me rephrase exactly what you're saying. Are you talking about yourself? You are not allowed to walk from that podium because you're scared, or the client is scared because you're there and
the client, you want to pace around the stage as an MC, but the client insists that you stand behind the podium. But you know, if you stand behind the podium, that would make it look like you're scared and would make you not lose the event. So both you and the client are working towards the same goal. You both want the event to be successful, right?
Very simple, yes. 100% everyone wants the event to be successful. It's very simple. Always keep a mic down on the podium. All right, that's one tip. I don't know if you do it, but I always do it. If I'm in a podium, I always have a mic, wireless mic, under the podium, and it's on but off on the AV section. Okay. Whenever, let's say, the day passed by, right? We started, as the client said, to stay on the podium. Adi, we continue. The first hour is done. Then we're having, let's say, an entertainment. Great. Then you came up and now you're doing the awards or something. No problem, or something like that, whatever, before the awards. But then you have another break for dinner. Let's rephrase on dinner. While it's on dinner and you sensed the event, what's happening and how it's happening, then you can go and approach the client. It's like, sir, you see how the whole atmosphere is? How about for me to break the ice? Let me just walk a little bit to the stage and do some couple of talks. This is where you break it, not in the beginning. He wants you in the beginning, he's terrified, you're terrified, people are seeing you're terrified, people don't care, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Adi, don't think about that. Think about you, think about the client, and think about the purpose why you're there. Within half, like 48 or like, let's say 70% of the event, just before it ends, this is where you can come and approach the client after you gain his trust and you gain the customer's trust, the crowd trust and everyone. And then you can tell him, can I do that? Let me show you. Or you just do it intentionally like that. But you have to be aware, if you did it without his permission, he might go angry. So just always consult him. Always consult your client.
Thank you.
Habib Osman, I think I saw a message. Let me see that. Is there a certification as an MC? Are you ever willing to forfeit your remuneration if you perform poorly? No, Victor. I will still continue regardless. I know myself, I did something bad and I'm whatever, but it will look very worse on me to just withdraw myself in the middle of the event. It won't look nice. I will just continue, and I'll just say to the client, apology, if you don't want to pay, don't pay. I'll refund the whole thing. Once I know myself truly 100% that I really did something very bad. How would you handle the audience if they are unresponsive? This is a very huge talk, which I would love to talk with you, Victor, one-to-one, because it's a never-ending talk of multiple of things what I can do. And this is where I said in the beginning, the 20 seconds. If you know how to enter on those first 20 seconds and win the crowd, you win the whole event. Who is the most important person to please at the event? For me, it's my client. 1, to please him. 2 is the crowd, of course. And 3, I need to please myself that I know what I'm doing so I can give a very good execution. But I think the most important person to please in the event is the client, but then the client is just there for me. But then I can prioritize the whole thing and say, the first thing to please is my crowd, my audience. And then I can go next, because that's my target. Thanks a lot. These are all my questions. Perfect. Thank you, Victor.
I have another last question.
Yes, Habib.
Do you recommend the use of voice of gods? Because in the MC world, there's a huge debate. Some people say it's a must, because as you said, the 20-second rule, it's so important. But then some people say it comes off really pretentious and you should never do it. And it's like always, there's this huge debate that should the voice of gods be used or not?
I use it, let's say 60% of my events, because again, as I said before, it depends on the event, what I'm doing. Take an example. I'll give you just a small little example. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for welcoming Bassam Nader, coming all the way from Beirut, Lebanon, to approaching you and to give you all the entertainment about the music. And I hope you're ready. Please, Bassam. And then I come on stage, Hoppy and my DJ with my music. Yeah, thank you very much. And then the music is there. And it's like, yay, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good evening, welcome. My name is Bassam right here. And of course, it's all about music and entertainment. And that's why we're here, because we love music, and we love entertainment, and we love to put the hypes on your faces. But before that, let me introduce you to our CEO. Please welcome Al-Walid Osman up on the stage, because he's going to come up and tell you more and more about that successful initiative that we're doing right now. Yeah! How about that?
Yeah, that I always believe in using them as well, but some clients hate them for some reason. I think in formal events.
Formal events, akid la. And formal events, what you can do just behind stage or voice of God is like before you start the event, and you just say just the voice of God like that. Ladies and gentlemen, in 5 minutes we're gonna start up the show. Please have a seat. Khalas.
Yeah, that's amazing. You could like do your own even.
Yes, of course. And you change. I always change with that voice tonality so that I don't make the crowd and the people say, "Oh, that's the same guy who's doing that." So yeah, this is why I play with the voice a lot. So, and it's very fun because I do so much of voiceovers and recordings and cartoons, and if I want to, stuff like that. So I usually play with that, and it's very nice and very fun. So I recommend ask first your client, do you like a VOG before that? And plus, I wish I can show you some videos of me entering some parts of different events, and it's so entertaining because crowd will love it, especially on big high events. Osman,
That's true.
I will show you something on my Instagram.
Okay, I will follow you.
Yeah, follow me and message me. I want to show you something. I had a concert in Global Village, and what I did as a voice of God, and then what I did when I was on stage. So it was like, wow. So you'll see that reaction that I'm telling you. Later on, we'll connect and talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Habib Osman, any more questions, please? Mariam? No, you're okay?
I'm mindful of time. So if we can take one last question, if we have that from Mariam, and then I believe that will be it.
Yeah, just let me check the chats one more time. Mariam, how would you handle your audience if they are unresponsive? I also like know what you say in regards to this. Thank you, Bassam. You were very informative. Thank you, Mariam. somehow already I mentioned about what happens when the crowd are not unresponsive. There are multiple ways that we can do or act or prepare for these kind of situations. Usually, honestly speaking, I face it a lot that sometimes the clients come to me themselves and they say, Bassam, you're gonna have one hell of a time. Because he knows his own people are not responsive. But you as an MC, you're strong. You just come to them with that power and confidence, as I told you earlier in the first slide, and you tell them, Habibi, leave it on me. I know what I have to do. And this is where my training comes up. And this is where the experience plays a big role. How you're gonna connect with those unresponsive guests or crowd or people. So Mariam, I hope I answered you, but there's a lot of different ways. Again, we need to concentrate on the 20-second gap. You earn it, you nail it. Very simple. Sana?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Amazing. All right.
Thank you, Mariam.
Thank you, Bassam, for making yourself available to us and sharing all this knowledge. Amazing. Thank you, everyone that joined us as well from wherever you are. We do have some more webinars coming up, so stay connected with us on our socials to do that. And again, if you would like to have some individual coaching or to connect with Bassam, feel free to, obviously on his socials, or if you'd like to have some coaching, contact us, info@mina-speakers.com. And if you have any more questions, you know what to do. I wish everyone an incredible morning, afternoon, day, depending on where you're tuning in with us. All right, have a great day. Thank you, bye-bye.
Thank you, bye-bye.